one of the best episodes we are going to record because this is something that we all been waiting for decades and decades. And what this topic is pretty touchy, man. And what this is it's just the beginning of us becoming a galactic civilization. Just like Elon Musk was talking about, but today is very much a broadcasting of actually this becoming actually a reality. Why? We're going to tell you, man. For decades, people were called crazy for talking about UFOs, strange lights, objects moving in ways we couldn't even explain. But today, the conversation is different. Major news outlets, government officials, and even the Pentagon are openly discussing what they know called UAPs. We always call them UFOs, but unidentified anomalous phenomenon. Why this fancy word? ABC News recently reported a new release, Pentagon files containing videos, photographs, pilot reports, and sightings that the government says remains explained. Now, before we even go too far, let's be clear. Unexplained doesn't mean automatically mean aliens, man. The government has released files and acknowledged unusual sightings, but officially have not confirmed extraterrestrial lives. I digress, because on ABC News, this man, I'm going to show you the video, has told us 4 races of aliens that are already existing, that been existing, but now they want to finally put it to forefront because they can't hold this information anymore. We are thirsty for the truth, and today in this podcast, we are going to open up that can of whoop ass. But what are we seeing? Advanced technology, military secrets, something natural we don't understand, or humanity standing at the edge of a conversation that was once pushed into the shadows, and no more shall it be. For years, the topics carried stigmatisms. Now it's on the news. I mean, discussed with the Congress and released in official files for the public to examine. I mean, they done put out aliens.gov, aliens.com. Those URLs are still being penned, but they have put it out information. Now, tonight on the Golden Ankh Podcast, we're exploring the mystery and the disclosures of the questions and what this shift this conversation could mean for society consciousness in the future. Keep your mind open, but keep this discernment, because today is about to be a phenomenal video. Let's jump into it. All right, so this brother here, we came across him. He works with Billy Carson, and he's also his own independent content creator. He's been doing a lot of great things. I forget the brother's name, forgive me, but he has pulled these videos and he has showed us. Let's just jump into it, and then I'm going to jump into the 4 type of beings that they're talking about, and we're going to do a little bit more deep diving on who they are. All right, sorry about that here. Let me go. I guess I should go live. Okay. All right, so let's jump in this video here.
This particular clip right here.
4 different species of aliens. Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us.
Websites your competitors
I hate these commercials.
don't want you to know
I hate these
are 2.
commercials.
All you do is go to this website, and it lets you find out exactly how much your competitors are.
All right, let's go. Let's go, y'all. Sorry for that stupid ass commercial. I'll cut that
Now,
out.
did you hear what he said? We have insectoids. Now, insectoids, we're going to get into that detail. And if y'all want, y'all can go out there and turn that heat on, the air up, down, whatever. But if you want,
actually, it's not even sharing my screen. So let me go back to this for y'all. Oh, I apologize. Share. Share screen. All right, cool. Share. All right, now we're sharing the
Let's
screen.
start with this particular clip right here.
4 different species of aliens. Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us.
And reptilians.
Now, did you hear what he said? We have insectoids. Now, insectoids, we're going to get into that detail. And if y'all want, y'all can go out there and turn the air up, down, whatever. But if you want, the Insectoid looks like an insect. Okay. And we're gonna get into a description of that in a minute. But he did say they all bipedal. So what does that mean? That goes all the way back to things that I've talked to you all about over and over and over, that we as humans have been mixed with all these different species. Everybody talks about it. That there is some type of hybridization that has occurred over eons and eons of time. And we've been had horses, we've been had this, had that, and it's all coming to a point now that they're going to start revealing that they're not flying around like little measly, praying mantis and little lizards just crawling on the wall when you walk on your porch when you get ready to go out for Saturday night.
Right.
We're not talking about that anymore. We're talking about
because we can all agree probably those are little spies that they put out. Because if you think about it, and I'm gonna show you the insectoids, I'm gonna show you these beings, I'm gonna show you the grays, I'm gonna show you the Nordic blondes, and I'm gonna show you the reptilians, and we're gonna go do a little bit more deep diving into them. But what I want to actually tell you guys is that every being that has a small thing, there's a bigger version of it. Reptiles, reptilians, there's a humanoid for it. The insectoids. Why do you think we couldn't kill praying mantis and you go to jail? Why do you think that was that rule? Now we're coming out, fast forward, these praying mantis probably were little insectoids that put out as like a camera, like to be able to move around here without their humanoid being seen. Same thing with lions, cats, little cats, and the big lions. Those could be viewers or genetically modifications to, have them as smaller and lives amongst us, the lion species. And the same thing with dogs. I mean, you look back to ancient Egypt, they talk about Anubis. Well, there are dogs that have humanoid form, meaning a dog head and humanoid hands and feet. It's very much true. It's not far-fetched. Remember, the humanoid form is just hands and feet, 2 legs and 2 arms. That's a humanoid form. Now, whatever you are, since you're white, you're black, now we're going to start looking at these genetic makeups, and that's what we're talking about here. Everybody is an extraterrestrial being. No one is just straight human. The humanoid form is what we are. You see how they tricked us. They made us think we're humans, but we're actually aliens. But they told us we're humans because this is the form that we live in. It's crazy.
About something that's 8 foot tall with a tail that is breeding and having things with people. And so now we're about to reveal it. So where do that take you?
Right.
Where do that take you in your mind that at some point there's a possibility? And so let's give a little description of these before we go any further down this road.
4 different species of aliens. Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us.
Yeah.
Experts speculate the reptilians are scaly with long tails like a lizard. Insectoids look like a praying mantis. The Greys look like your classic movie alien, and the Nordics look like a regular Swedish guy. But
this was on May 8th that the Fox News is saying this. Scientists believe 4 types of aliens life found. Now they're gonna leak drip it like it's coulda, woulda. But why would you put it on the news with showing us what they done dropped in the files? Who knows what these blackouts are? What those things say? There's always a blackout.
7 feet tall.
Files.
What you didn't hear is that there were some black people coming back from Nibiru.
Right.
Okay. You didn't hear that they look like some other stuff that we've been talking about, the Anunnakis or all that as of now, right? You're hearing that we have 4 choices at this point. We have the tall ones that are tall, gray, not gray, but the tall, whatever you say. And they're 8 feet tall. They supposed to look like us, like you say, some Frenchmen, You didn't say Palladians. So there's a lot of star seeds upset. Where we are. How can we represent it, right? It's going to start all over. We've done this through history on personal level. We got race this now. Okay, we got all these alien races. Okay, we have insectoids are going to be represented now. The 4 main factions.
And the reptilians.
And the reptilians. Not all of 4. I think the reptilians are the ones who do not want to be identified because they're the one causing havoc in doing things in our everyday lives. From the Illuminati all the way down to celebrities and you name it. They control everything.
At some point,
8% of our government is at some point some type of hybrid of them or dominion of them or some type of 4 reptilian. It's just the facts is the facts. So walk in there and ask. Somebody's going to be honest with you before they do what they do to you. Okay? So, but
I'm going to try to find this clip because, in the sense of like the reptilians, they like to cloak themselves amongst us, and also the other ones do too as well. That's why they do these 5G towers. That's why they do all this electrical upgrades to the power grid, in the sense of so many wiring, so many updates, because they need the updates to be able to keep their persona undercover. And the crazy thing about it is that I watched the Orville. Go ahead and watch the show The Orville, and the Orville will go ahead and unfold your eyes and lift the veil for real. There's this one episode in the Orville where the captain and one of his pilots go on a ship, and they have to go undercover. And they go undercover to the Kalon ship, and they had these devices that cloaked them so they looked like one of the Kalons. And if you guys go back to it, I'm trying to look for the video. Go undercover and I don't need to share the video with you. You guys can go ahead and look it up. But that's the episode.
They're gonna tell you the truth. Then you're out of there. So, but go look. That's all I'm saying.
Tell you the truth. Then you're out of there.
Where I'm going with this is, are we now at a point to where the sugar honey iced tea is about to get real?
Are we now at a point to where the sugar honey iced tea is about to get real?
Yeah. And I'm going to pause it on that right there, and I'm going to pull up the extraterrestrial beings, because before this even drip leaked or even anything, I literally put out the alien types, the races, and I found this website. I believe the Galactic Federation had led me to this, and now fast forward, now they're telling us on ABC News that these beings are actually amongst us. So let me share you this website. This is called the galacticorigins.com, right? And we're going to just go over the aliens that they talked about. So let me reshare my screen. Stop sharing my screen. And let me share my screen on that website. Yeah. So this is the galactic-origins.com. And in this website, I'm going to show you the 4 that they've talked about. So the first ones they talked about was, and honestly, this website doesn't have the grays, surprisingly now, because, let me see, it has the Pleiadians, the Lyrians, Sirians. Sirians has a lot of the Andromedans, the Centaurians, the Draconians. Now let's pull up, now we're on the reptilian one, so let's go over the reptilians. So reptilians from Orion are like the dark green bipedal reptiles, sometimes dark gray or brown with scales in their skins and tails. They have snake eyes and middle to big mouth with a long tongue. Most advanced look more like humanoids with a little mouth and no tail. All right, so this is what they look like. And, Beyonce now is not far-fetched of believing that she's in the skin suit or with a cloak device to be able to show that she's not a reptilian but look like a human amongst us. It makes sense of why she's in so much power, right? Reptilians mostly exist everywhere in the galaxy, including in the Pleiades. We speak about the Orion reptiles. It shows you the star system from the Orion stars constellation, right? And we see the Orion belt right here. We all know. But they're friendly with Draconians during the Orion Wars, giving them a little more dark polarity. Reptilians from Orion are very attracted to sexuality. This is important for them to look good and have a partner. They can be really, really sexy and attractive. They like seduction, drinking, dancing. What does that sound like? That sound like most of the bitches in the club. They like seduction. There's a big broadcast of seduction in the music industry. They like drinking. Everyone like that. Dom Julio, right? And then they like dancing. That sounds just like the club. And they run they're the rappers. They're the artists. They're the entertainers. So it makes sense, right? They are pretty obsessed with material things, just like they always rap about. These females rappers talking about, oh, if he can't buy me a Chanel stuff, buy me a Chanel bag or whatever. But always talking about materialistic things. These are the characteristics. These are how you spot the reptilians. And the crazy part about it is some of these individuals out here that carry those characteristic traits, they may not know they're reptilian, because a lot of people have been brainwashed of knowing who they truly are. And this is what this era is about. All of us are going to start knowing who we are galactically, because we are not literally just human beings. We are extraterrestrial beings, man, by a long shot of it actually being not far-fetched anymore. But they see, and they having a good financial situation is important for them. They can have a very high ambition in life, and they work hard and achieve their goals, which is pretty cool, right? That's what I'm saying. We all are mixed genetic DNAs, right? We all have a reptilian source in us over decades. Their cities in Orion are close to ours, a little more advanced or pretty much advanced. Reptilians are really agile. They like sports and using their body. They also like sleeping on the sun. They are smart and are really good at business. So that's, if we read in these characteristic traits about the reptilians, remember, these are individuals just like us. So there's evil ones and there's good ones. So all of us have genetic makeups and genetic lineages. This may be a big part of a lot of us just reading this caption. A lot of us may have reptilian DNA, right? Just like I said, some are, and here's some examples of individuals that are in the industry. We got Beyonce talking about 90% genes. Lady Gaga, 90% genes. Who is that? Adriana Lima, 90% genes. I don't know who this is, or I don't know who these guys are. These probably look like Spanish in Spanish. But Chris Brown, remember that video where he dunked and his hand got elongated. So these are the things. Look, Tupac, even 70% genes are reptilian. And then we go down to the cartoons. The reptilians were about, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they live underground, they love pizza, and they had one friend that was keeping them out of the media because they don't want to be seen. They don't want people to know that they're actually amongst us, because it makes them not be as important as what they want, right? They are very agile, look good for television, and most important, they live underground. Under the cities are reptilians. There's underground reptilian cities. And that's just what it is, y'all. There's no ifs, ands, whats, and about it. They live under us. Then I live in Philadelphia. In the city of Philadelphia, best believe there's reptilian bases under the city of Philadelphia. Same thing with New York. Any major city, they're there. Many, and they showed us that, and they cloned Tyrone too. Many spiritual people were believing that reptilians were living underground around 1980 until 2000s. That was true, but today it is not anymore, okay? They're saying it's not anymore. Many things are changing on Earth since we entered a new era. So these reptilians been subduing, at least the negative ones, been subduing us, doing projects on us, doing this and doing that, and underground bases is where they've been participating and taking act in those. So a lot of extraterrestrial help, Galactic Federation help, angel help, now clean up these bases that were running experimental projects on us, right? Reptilians that appear again in Dragon Ball Z, which is crazy. This whole time we've been looking at them, right? In 1992, as the Namekians living on the planet Namek. These are the reptilians they're saying. These are the reptilians they're saying in Dragon Ball Z. And then finally, if you go back in time during the Sumerian civilization in the actual Iraq, you will find these famous statues of reptilians. So these beings been around, man. So one thing I wanted to let you guys know, if you get anything from this today, is that aliens are individuals just like us, and we have their DNA. Now let's see. He said the Greys, insectoids. They have the insectoids on here. Let me see. I know they have the insectoids in here. This is the elephant type beings. Oh, here we go. No, those are the avian birds. See, there's a whole bunch. They just didn't put these ones out yet, but these ones are known as well. They can't just drip leak everything. Everyone's going to lose their mind. So those that are, let me see, the Syrian, I know the insectoids on here, bro. Mantis, here we go. These are the same. It's a different name. The Ontarian mantis come from the Antares Scorpius constellation. Okay, These are the same ones that they're talking about right now, the insectoids. The mantis, the insectoids, they may be coming from the same type of region, right? You are not in a dream. Giant mantis beings live around the Antis star system. They are highly evolved and they are in advance in the Arcturians. Most of the Arcturian mantis live in the high densities and very peaceful worlds. They are extremely gracious and joyful, and they dance like dancing and enjoying life through good food and parasitic landscapes. They are also pretty sensual and attractive. As you may know, many mantis also live in middle densities and have been implicated in the Orion Wars. They confront the Draconians many times. Some of them have a dark polarity, but many are tuned into the light. Arcturian mantis are really psychic and intuitive. They live in beautiful cities inside the nature. They highly prefer forests than building in their houses or crafts around trees. They also have very advanced cities, and they live and they like music, dancing, and cinemas and theaters. Sexual energy is important for them, and they are very social, liking sharing energy. Many mantis are pretty spiritual. They like to spend time in ancient temples and feel good in very pure atmospheres. All right, so these are like some what they look like in humanoid. Over time, you start breeding, and next thing you know, don't look like a bug anymore. So like look at this individual, very beautiful in the eyes and in the face, very beautiful in the eyes and the face. You can see how it's a similarity. She was in Orange is the New, but you can see, right? And they even have my boy Wiz Khalifa. They have Young Thug. And now I see Wiz Khalifa working with Megan Fox's husband, Machine Gun Kelly. So, you know, what's the coincidence in that? All right, so mantis. So here's where it gets a little bit more diving deep. Mantis firstly appeared in Men in Black in 1997, both in the movies and Will Smith's song where a mantis is dancing. So is that a mantis? That don't look like a mantis. They are surely in Star Trek 1979 through the Inks and Discs. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing and spelling these and saying these words right, man. We're not in that. We getting the information out regardless. So they also appear as Guardians of the Galaxy in 2014. As in the human mantis humanoid form. You see? So these things are here. And the Greys aren't on this website, neither are the Nordic Blinds. But if we talk about the Nordics, they also can be the Pleiadians, right? The Pleiadians and the Nordics are kind of neighboring, are cousins, right? So these are the things that we talk about, right? The Pleiadians evolving in 6D and are more slender, gracious, and long arms and fingers, and the long hair, wearing many crystals. The ones evolving in the 3D, the 4D, looking pretty much like us. The Pleiadians are star systems made by more than 800 stars. The 9 brightest stars. Is important to understand that many planets are inhabited by different races of humanoids here, and that our planet is considered as a Pleiadian colony. Pleiadians have a big heart. They are very sensual and give a great importance to love and also external beauty. They have a kind of an angelic energy, being very benevolent, and they are very intuitive too. Their energies are the foundation of the human race that we tend to forget: compassion, love, and soul. Pleiadians live in advanced cities, full in technology, being in a pure harmony with nature. If you can see one of their cities, you would say that this is a utopia. This is because they stay aligned in their heart and their soul and live peacefully together. They are highly sophisticated, mature, and they like music, dancing, art, design, clothes. They carry energy for freedom and peace. Women are really liberated and have a strong sensual expression. They are really lifeful, and 80s have definitely been impulsed by Pleiadians' energy. I hear that. Okay. So that's pretty good. We read these things and pretty much they're saying we are Pleiadians. Pleiadians are the ones that seeded this planet in the sense of, not just them looking like, the white folks that you see. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about the Anunnaki, we talk about black people being indigenous, but we never talk about how the Pleiadians have their race of white folk around us every single day. So yes, black people are indigenous to this planet, but hey, also there's other beings that come to this planet that visit and see their lifespans here too as well. It's Pleiadians, right? Look at them, and then we scroll down. You know, this is what the Pleiadians look like. You know, pretty much if they have blue eyes, they have green eyes. They also have individuals that have red hair. So if you see red hair, green eyes, or you see blue eyes and blonde hair, or you know, what's this pattern, this color called again? They're Pleiadians. And especially you can see if they're Pleiadians based off their aura, based off their light, based off of their joy, based off their empathy and their aura that they carry, right? So you can tell, like, Pleiadians are very earthly. Like they like you can see the white girls that like that do the little dreads and that like to do that crystal work and all. Those can be Arcturians and Androm. See, the white skin color is a multiple going on thing. Pleiadian, Arcturians, and skin suits. This is a whole genetic field that these white skins carry, right? They're not just, oh, they're white. No, these white people have a lot of genetic pool. You see, how many times have you seen a white girl look like this? You see them out here. How many times you see a white girl look like this? You see them out here. Now when you in public and you see a girl with blonde hair and blue eyes, the first thing you want to start identifying her as is a Pleiadian. Because that's what she is. That's what I'm saying. We don't know who we are. They just said we humans. We just black, you just white. And this is the age of where we breaking all that. We all going to start understanding who we are galactically. Because we are galactic beings. We are spirits in these skin suits. And outside of this body, we have our astral bodies. And we live amongst the universe. We're stars. So it's like, now that we're starting to learn, and this is a very exciting time, but let's go, I'm going to go over here to Google and let's look at some grays, right? Because we didn't have any grays on that website. All right. And you guys, I'm gonna give you a couple movies to watch too. You can watch a couple movies about these things. One series that I'm watching right now is The Orville. Been watching that. Watch that, The Orville. Another one is Resident Aliens. Resident Aliens, that show. Let me stop sharing my screen. That show, Resident Alien, literally shows you a lot in there, okay? So let's pull up the grays. And there's different type of grays. They have a husky one. They have a tall linear. They have a tall one, and then they also have a short one. You know, and it's funny because now we got Space Baby out there, right? And now all this disclosure is happening. Okay, let's go to this website right here. Not a website, but someone is posting nice posts on Instagram. On Facebook. All right, let me share this here. And then we're going to end the video because it's going to be too long here. All right, cool. So this is what the post I came across. I like this here. Very simple. So these are what grays look like. What we all know aliens look like, right? Some beings believe there is a divine creator and there is a pattern. Then there are beings that believe in chaos and themselves alone. We live in a society that denies that the existence of aliens, so guess which ones are in control of the solar system. Ancient cultures drew patterns, natures, and repeating patterns, checking geometry. There's different type of aliens, right? And then we leave this page, right? And then we this space guy. You see this boy? You see him going everywhere? So these are the things that they do to warm us up. These are the things that they do to warm us up. So those is the grays, and this is the age disclosure, and there's going to be more gray. Now Men in Black don't see far-fetched now, huh? Men in Black don't seem far-fetched. Men in Black been telling us. So I showed you the Nordic. So the Nordics too. You want to go Nordic blondes? They look just like the Pleiadians. See? So they are probably the Pleiadians. You see, they look just like them. That was just the image on that. You go like this. Pleiadians, Nordic blondes, the same individuals. So you see them every day. Y'all don't even know. You see them every day. Y'all don't even know. So we went over the reptilians, we went over the Nordics, and we went over the insectoids, and we went over the Greys. So let me stop sharing my screen, and I just need to let you. This is a 30-minute video. Yeah. So we're gonna end it here because the video is gonna be too long to be uploading, and my Wi-Fi is not that great. But I hope you guys had a great time in this episode and the Golden Ankh Podcast. And we just going to keep, this is just a warm-up. This is literally a warm-up. And I'm excited to keep doing this. And the Galactic Federation is working through me, my ancestors. Everybody that is like me, we are here literally now at this point of time to be able to lead the individuals that do not believe in this stuff or don't even want to look at it to the galactic civilization. And the fact, we're not here for everybody. We're here for the ones that want to listen. So individuals that don't listen, I'm like, oh, this guy's playing around, or he's playing. Okay, but we showing y'all that it's time. All right, so peace.